Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's practice. Before we begin our meditation, before we dive into the practice, I would like to give a small introduction of where we are heading, an introduction of what the meditation will be about. It's again, as usual, one common element is the idea of self, the sense of personal self, and the other self, which is impersonal. I recently went through a move from one house to an apartment, kind of smaller area, and my stuff got shuffled. We threw away a lot of things. A lot of change has happened. Furniture, there's some new things, but mostly old things are gone. And the space feels like very new, but the objects seem very similar. The same bed, the same table, the same laptop. So what's coming to me is I did feel a lot of unsettledness in the last 2, 3 weeks during the move, and as you move towards that big move, and as you go through it, and afterwards, when you're trying to settle down. So today I would like to invite everyone in the settling down practice. Now, this practice is required for the personal self, the self who keeps on changing, the self who goes through stress and narrations and positive experiences or negative experiences, the self who is, let's say, it's the small self, the personal, the me, the self who wants to make meaning, and meaning making helps this self in settling down. And where do we settle down? That space in which we settle down is the impersonal self. Just like the space in this room does not differentiate whether I buy an Apple Mac laptop or I buy a regular Microsoft or Lenovo cheaper laptop. The space doesn't have a preference whether a person from India is sitting in this room or a person from, let's say, South America is sitting in the room, or a person from Europe is sitting in the room. The space has no preference, has no agenda. And this is the space I'm inviting you to settle into. And the you is the personal, the space is the impersonal, universal, limitless, boundless presence. So, with this description, with this intention, let's get into a position that's most comfortable for you. You can close your eyes if that is helpful in concentrating, or you can leave them open, making sure that your back is straight, your neck is straight, and the body is feeling taken care of. The body is held. Now, let's begin with bringing our attention to the sensations, to the feelings of breathing. Noticing the breath that is arising and passing. Noticing the sensations that are arising and passing as a result of the breathing process. Noticing the upward and downward movement that is happening as a result of this breathing process. So, noticing the expansion and contraction of the belly, your lungs, as the breath comes in and goes out. Allowing the breath to be a bridge between the personal and impersonal. The breath is always changing like the personal self, and the breath is always here, always happening, always present, also like that space, like impersonal self. Therefore, breath is often the object of concentration, the tool that we often use in meditation practices. The more we attune the mind with the breath, the more this personal, individual self gets connected with the impersonal, the universal, allowing this process of connection, of joining, of reuniting to take place, allowing the breath to take you home, noticing how the body settles down moment by moment, noticing how the mind gets collected, concentrated on this breathing process, how it's settling down, getting more still. And even if the mind wanders away, reminding yourself to come home, to come to the breathing, to be aware of this breath that is happening now. This breath is always accessible. This bridge is always open. All we are doing is walking, moving closer to that presence, to that home, to that awareness. Who's always here, anyways. Even though this is always here, there is a forgetfulness. There's a tendency to lose touch, think too much, which is all part of human experience. There's no good or bad, no right or wrong. There are only opportunities to return, to be here, to be home. The door is always open. The bridge is always here. The breath is always inviting you to a place where you belong, where you are at ease, at peace, where you can simply be you, where you are accepted for who you are, loved and appreciated for exactly as you are. This home cannot be seen, touched, smelled, or felt. You cannot hear it. You cannot think about it. And yet, it is always here, always present, always existing, always still and peaceful, never changing, never leaving. This home can never be lost or gained. This home has no shape, no form, no color. This home is not a person. This home has no objective qualities. It is neither good nor bad. This home has no walls, no boundaries, no separation. There is only one home. There is no other. Being here, being home, is being who you are. You can never walk away from yourself. You can never walk towards yourself. You can only be yourself. You are the personal and impersonal at the same time. You are the universal, one home, abiding in yourself, resting as yourself. May you remember this home that never leaves you, this home that is always open for you, this home that is you. And if you forget, may this breath be your door, be your bridge back home. And now I invite you to wish with me that may all beings remember who they are. May all beings find their home, find peace, joy, and happiness. And may all be free of suffering. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room.